Picture an explosion so powerful it can obliterate entire cities and change the course of history. This is the power of a nuclear bomb. At its core, a nuclear bomb is a weapon that uses nuclear reactions to release an immense amount of destructive energy. But how does it do this? Well, it's all about manipulating the very building blocks of matter, atoms. The bomb relies on one of two processes, fission or fusion. Fission is the splitting apart of an atom's nucleus, releasing a great deal of energy in the process. Fusion, on the other hand, involves the coming together or merging of two atomic nuclei to form a larger one, also releasing a vast amount of energy. Both processes result in a powerful explosion, but the scale of destruction can vary significantly. So, the might of a nuclear bomb lies in our own atomic structure, harnessed to unleash destruction. Creating a nuclear bomb is no simple feat. It requires precision engineering and specific raw materials. At the heart of the bomb lies the fissile material, typically uranium-235 or plutonium-239. This is encased within layers of conventional explosives and connected to a triggering mechanism. The concept of critical mass is fundamental to this process. This refers to the minimum amount of fissile material required to sustain a nuclear chain reaction. Too little, and the reaction fizzles out. Too much, and you risk a premature detonation. The assembly of the bomb is a feat of engineering. The conventional explosives must be designed to implode, forcing the fissile material into a supercritical state. This rapid compression triggers the nuclear chain reaction, releasing an immense amount of energy in an instant. These components, when brought together rapidly and accurately, result in an explosive chain reaction. The terrifying power of a nuclear bomb can vary, depending on whether it's a fission or fusion bomb. Let's break it down. Fission bombs or atomic bombs hinge on the concept of nuclear fission. This is where a heavy atom, like uranium or plutonium, is split into two or more smaller atoms, releasing a huge amount of energy. This process triggers a chain reaction, causing an explosion. Now let's talk about fusion bombs, often referred to as hydrogen bombs. These work on a slightly different but more potent principle: nuclear fusion. Rather than splitting atoms apart, fusion bombs merge them together. Specifically, they fuse hydrogen isotopes to form helium, a process that releases a colossal amount of energy. To kickstart this fusion process, a fission bomb is used as a trigger, so while both types are devastating, fusion bombs, also known as hydrogen bombs, are significantly more powerful. The destructive potential of nuclear bombs is not just theoretical. They have been used in warfare, with horrific consequences. In the annals of human history, the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945 stand as stark reminders of this destructive power. These Japanese cities were devastated by atomic bombs dropped by the United States, resulting in immediate and massive loss of life. The long-term effects were equally disastrous, with survivors suffering from radiation sickness and other health complications for years. The cities themselves took decades to recover. Additionally, during the Cold War era and beyond, various countries conducted extensive testing of nuclear weapons, further showcasing the terrifying capabilities of these devices. These tests not only demonstrated military prowess, but also had significant environmental impacts. These events serve as a grim reminder of the devastation nuclear bombs can bring. The immediate explosion is just the beginning of a nuclear bomb's catastrophic effects. In the blink of an eye, a nuclear explosion releases a colossal amount of energy, creating a destructive blast radius. Everything within this radius is vaporized almost instantly. The heat emitted is so intense that it can cause severe burns miles away from the epicenter. But that's not all. Following the blast, a wave of deadly radiation sweeps across the area. This radiation can cause immediate sickness or death, and can also lead to long-term health issues such as cancer for those who survive the initial explosion. The environmental impacts are equally devastating. A nuclear explosion produces a deadly byproduct known as radioactive fallout. This fallout contaminates the environment, poisoning the soil, water, and air, and can make areas uninhabitable for decades, even centuries. The lingering effects of a nuclear explosion can last for generations, affecting both the living and the yet-to-be-born. In the face of such destructive power, international efforts have aimed to control the proliferation of nuclear weapons. The Non-Proliferation Treaty, for instance, is an international agreement that came into effect in 1970. Its objective is to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons technology, promote the peaceful use of nuclear energy, and work towards complete disarmament. Yet, despite such measures, the world today still has a significant nuclear arsenal. Countries like the United States, Russia, China, France, and the United Kingdom hold the largest stockpiles. These nations, along with others, are engaged in continuous efforts to reduce their inventories. But the process is complex and fraught with geopolitical challenges. Disarmament is a delicate dance, balancing national security concerns with global peace aspirations. While progress has been made, the threat of nuclear weapons remains a serious global concern. The immense destructive power of nuclear bombs is a heavy burden to bear. We've journeyed through the intricate workings of these weapons, from their basis in the profound forces of fission and fusion, to the precision engineering required to harness these forces. We've delved into the stark differences between atomic and hydrogen bombs and the varying degrees of devastation they bring about. We've revisited the haunting historical instances of their use in warfare, the scars of which are still visible in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We've explored the catastrophic consequences of a nuclear explosion, the immediate destruction, and the long-lasting environmental impacts. We've also learned about the international efforts to prevent the spread of these weapons and the current state of global nuclear arsenal. The responsibility associated with possessing such weapons is not to be taken lightly. As we reflect on nuclear bombs, let's remember the importance of peace, diplomacy, and responsibility in a nuclear age.